Whenever I'm going into a market, I like to really in-depth and analyze who am I going up against. So think of an analogy like if you're going to play, going up in the UFC or any type of sports, you want to think like who are you going to compete against? And sometimes people don't really think about that. So what I do when I go in is let's say there's a market and there's all sorts of players in the market there. Okay, so maybe right here. And each product is sold by somebody else. So what we're going to do in this video is kind of go in and, okay, this product, well, what about this seller? And then, you can kind of make a scorecard of all the different ways of how advanced they are. We got social media, we got the number of products. Like, are they running Google ads? Are they, do they have licensing and partnerships? And, how long have they been selling for? And we start to add up all these things. We're really easily able to see how advanced this one seller is. Now, on top of that, it's important to know how advanced one seller is. But if you're going into a market and every seller, looks pretty advanced, then, it's just kind of the question of, well, let's compare these other people to us. And could we compete against them? I mean, if you have a really revolutionary idea and you've solved an unsolved need potentially, but definitely important to know not only at this moment, but in the future, how advanced is this going to be? And, how hard is this going to be? And, not only what if you're going up against a bunch of pros, but what if you're also going up against a bunch of people using steroids? They're cheating. Well, those are the markets you really want to stay away from, because I've been in them and it is not fun when they're using all sorts of methods to cheat and you're trying to stay clean, and it's a hard fight. So definitely watch this through and you'll be able to really evaluate in depth how competitive a market is going to be and what you can expect in the future as you're going through with this. Oh yeah, one thing that I want to say here is, instead of going up against the pros, I want to be going up against, grandma and grandpa, someone who it's, a lot easier to take down than that new person who's cheating. One of the main criteria that I use when looking at markets to go into is what is the level of the competition. So not just the amount of reviews that everybody on the list, like on the main keywords have, but individually, how advanced are each one of those sellers, okay? So I'm just going to go over quick the main criteria that I would look at to evaluate those sellers, and then I'll go and show you quickly how to do that. Now, one is going to be the number of reviews. So not just the number of reviews on the product, but the number of reviews that they have on their whole seller account. So you can assume that about 1% of sales, and, it varies by account, but I just like to use 1% to be safe. So essentially, for every review they have as seller feedback, they will have 100 times sales on that. And then also look at what types of ads they're running. Are they running AMS ads, or is there just AMS ads for that keyword in general? Because it's a little bit hard to see exactly what the AMS ads are for that product. The other thing to look at is how many products do they have, and then also within that is how long have they been selling for, okay? So that one is going to be important, because if they have a lot of products, they're a more advanced seller potentially. But there's different types of sellers, and you need to understand that as businesses evolve, they become less efficient, and it's not the starving CEO who is optimizing doing black hat stuff. And then now, what type of seller are they? Wholesale versus private label, or is this a Chinese brand? Not to be discriminatory, but I see lots of more black hat activity coming from Chinese sellers, because their e-commerce market is much larger than ours, and if you sell on Taobao there or other markets there, it is cutthroat. They also, some overseas sellers, particularly from East Asia, have different not ethics, but just different business practices, okay? It's very cutthroat. We also look at the total sales level of the account, because that's going to tell us what type of revenue are they bringing in general, and that's going to tell us about how big is this organization, and then do they have enhanced brand content. So each one of these is going to tell us a little bit more about how advanced they are. Then we're also going to take a look at their social media following and their actual website. So the social media is going to tell us if they're running external traffic. Potentially there is a hack to figure out if they are running external traffic. You can watch that video if it's posted, and if not, just make sure you're signed up for the lists, either the messenger list. Also make sure you're subscribed to my YouTube channel and hit the subscribe button, because I may be releasing on there when I release it on the course. So you want to get some way to get notified when I release these more advanced videos. And then the last thing to look at is their actual website. If they're you can do some tricks to see, okay, is this an actual, like, is this an Amazon only business, or like how much traffic are they driving to their website and whatnot. So these are all going to tell us these sophistication levels. Now, I wouldn't necessarily go through and do all of these techniques on each seller, but I would just kind of glance over it and see who my main competitors are and how much of this niche they've dug into, okay? Okay, so we're going to take a look at silicone wedding rings because it is an extremely competitive niche right now. So let's say we were to take a look at this ENSO listing. This one is doing quite a bit of revenue here. If we take a look at it, now I'm never exactly sure how to trust sales when there is all these different variations because they have like 8 variations here. So I just... maybe I'm wrong here, and I would appreciate if somebody understands the sales on variations, but I just sort of take whatever the largest revenue is on any variation, and I just assume that that is the entire listing, because sometimes it will just apply the revenue to everything and whatnot, and I find it very hard that these are all evenly distributed because none of these other ones were ranking, and you can only rank for one variation. But so I would take this, we'd click right here, go on Enso Rings, take a look at their so first of all, I would right here, how many sales do they get? Okay, 1,023 ratings. Okay, there's 2 things to look at. So that would assume we multiply that by 100, and that gives us 100 times 1,000, 100,000 sales. But then you also look at their distribution here. So in the past 90 days, they've gotten 471 sales or reviews. So that would be 50,000 in the last 90 days. So that's only 3 months, so multiply that by 4. So now that's actually more like 200,000 sales a year. But granted, these are seasonal because wedding season is in the summer in the United States. But just taking a look at this now, I want to see what is their product mix like, okay? So, and what are the amount of reviews on all of their listings? So it looks like, so they have some other ones here, but, so this is a newer one. Yeah, I'm going to look at the sales on all their different listings, but then also the product variety mix here. So you can see they are deep, like they just sell these rings, okay? And clearly they have that one main listing, but their other ones, that one's doing good, but some of the other ones not doing too hot here. But overall, I would say that this is they're pretty good. I mean, they're ranking on page 1 with their main listing, which is just crushing it, and I don't know exactly what all those variations are doing. So this is more of an advanced seller, definitely going after one of the most competitive markets that there is, and they're selling at a premium price. I mean, these things cost like 50 cents a piece, so they're just raking in the cash, but they're having to do a crazy amount of giveaways. So that is what I look at there. And then obviously I'm assuming because we looked at their sellers here, they're all Enso rings, so this is clearly a private labeler. Now this is important because if it's a wholesaler, they're not going to care as much, okay? And you could see they're not that large. They don't have that large of a product catalog yet, so they're going to be more of a feisty seller. If you're going to, if they get that one listing taken down, let's see how much of their business that is. That's over half of their business on one ASIN. So they're going to, if they have to resort to shady stuff, they potentially will, because that's just a lot of revenue that they would lose. Now, this doesn't mean I obviously would not go into this market without a very, you have to manipulate sales rank quite a bit. But just overall showing you guys what to look at here. So we determined they are let's pull this up. Okay, so the first one, they have a pretty good amount of reviews, not too many, and their other products didn't have that many. But what types of ads are they running? So we haven't looked at that one yet, but they're very all in one niche, one brand. So they're a private labeler, and they've got all of this coming from one. So this would be, I'm starting to categorize this as a more dangerous seller to deal with, specifically for beginners. We've already looked at their sales levels, and they've got quite a bit of sales. Now we're going to look at if they have enhanced brand content. Okay, so we're looking down here, and I don't see any enhanced brand content at all. Then another thing that wasn't on there that I probably should add. Okay, so I just added in the quality of the listing. So we looked, and they don't have enhanced brand content, but are they using all of their image spaces? Are they good quality? Do they have lifestyle? So I'd say this is a pretty good image right there. There's another one, peace of mind. So this one is talking about the features of this, and then the next one is talking about the benefits. Peace of mind gives you flexibility, unmatched selection, lifetime. Okay, so they could be using some more images here, but they are pretty good quality images. So they've even got good color schemes here. Yeah, so this is definitely an advanced seller. Okay, so the last thing to look at now is we're gonna check out, do they have a loyal brand following, or are they just an Amazon private label, arbitrage machine? So, we want to see if this is very brand affiliated or not. So if they are a private label seller and they have a very narrow focus and they've got a strong brand, then this is going to be, a bit more difficult to go up against, especially when you think long term. And as if you're trying to dig down into this niche and spread out, and they've got a large following and you don't, and they already have a head start, it's going to be just more difficult. So this is obviously a very Instagram. Oh, apparently I can't go on Instagram because I blocked that. Okay, so we could just go to Google here, Enso rings. If you guys don't already have this, get the keywords everywhere Chrome extension, and it's really nice because whenever you type something into Google, it will tell you the cost per click as well as the total amount of monthly searches. So and this even happens when you're on Amazon and other websites, you're gonna start to just really get a good feeling for what is search volume and search demand. So it's free and it's really great. And let's say I wanted to keep this. There's a way to add it to right there. I could just hit that and it would add it to my saved keyword list. And so things that interest you and whatnot. And then it also on the side here will give you the suggestion of other similar keywords and their volume. So you can just get a better overview of the market from a Google perspective, which is nice because otherwise you're going to have to go and do a reverse ASIN search, or you're going to have to But also things like this won't show up like that. A coupon code isn't going to show up on an Amazon, okay? Because people don't type that into Amazon, but they type it into Google. So if somebody's looking for a coupon or a coupon code, that sends me signals that they've heard about a coupon, or this is a brand and they really want to get a coupon for it, so that there's loyalty or high interest if somebody's looking for a coupon code. Okay, so we go ahead and look at their website here. They have a unicorn one. All right, so this looks like a pretty good. Wow. Okay, this is a pretty good website. Whoa, what is this? 29,000 certified reviews. See, this is why it's important to check out their socials. So they've got Pinterest, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Let's see what their following is like. 1,170. Okay, so that's not too much, but they have their rings on Instagram. Okay, so they've got a decent Pinterest strategy here. Their rings don't really pop out though. So nothing too concerning, but I mean, here's the thing. Most companies don't have a Pinterest. You have to get to a certain level of being advanced to have a Pinterest and very well organized boards, and I'd say, yeah, they're definitely very advanced. Okay, so they have 7,780 followers on Twitter. I don't really give Twitter too much of a rank or rating. Let's see. I'll go back to their website now. I'm going to have to open this in an incognito tab here. 67.6 thousand followers. Okay, so this is a bit more now. So I guess the other thing, guys, you don't need to do this for everyone. I just want to show you really how to in-depth analyze a competitor. So I guess here's another thing we could do. We could go to SEMrush. So are they running Google ads? Because if they're running Google ads, Enso rings, I have a membership to this. I have a link down below if you guys are really interested. I don't think you need it. You could just get a free trial. But if you're going to be doing more serious keyword research, or if you're going to be doing more serious ads, it might be worth it. Let me know if you want to learn how to use this tool. You can essentially, the same concept of funnel hacking, you can reverse engineer and see every keyword that your competitors are bidding on. And this is a nice way to pick up some sales. You can get PPC, you can do just product search, literally Google search display ads, or you can do Google search ads, just the headline ads, and you can do a low bid campaign on that and actually get some good sales. So not just doing the Google shopping, but doing the headline ads, because shopping doesn't show up for everything. And then you collect this giant list, make some low bid keyword ones, drive them to a coupon code page or to your website or a messenger where they're going to get a coupon like that. So that way you've now got them on that list. So there are different ways to do this. I'll make a video on that in the future. That is not going to be in one of the first versions here, though. I'm trying to pump this out quick. Okay, I'll log in here. Okay, so what we can do here is, what's nice about this is you're going to be able to see the organic traffic as well as the paid search. So let's take a look at this. They are getting crazy organic traffic. 270K. Is that 270,000 a month? That is significant volume. That is a very significant volume. That's cool. That's so big. That's very large. And then here's the other thing to look at. They have 8.5 thousand total backlinks. So you could take a look here and see who is referring to them. And then you can also see some. Let me move up here. So you can also see just when were these seen, and so Ravel, Big Cottonwood. I don't know who these are. Maybe these are some bigger sites. Okay, so right here, this metric right there is going to give the trustworthiness. So essentially, there's the Google PageRank algorithm, and the higher this is, the more trustworthy a site is. All right, so they must have sponsored a marathon or something so that they were able to get a backlink here. All right, I'll go more in depth onto this. So, this is not for beginners. This is getting way too deep. But let me know if you want me to make it more in depth on how to do this. But yeah, you can hack all their, not hack, but figure out all their display ads. You can see. Let's see what you could just quickly glance at all the keywords that they're using. You need a paid account for that, but they do have a free trial if you use my link. If you actually just check out the other video to see if it's even worth your time. I use this though for making my Google ads. Okay, yeah. So now right here we can see all the keywords. Yeah, we can see all the keywords, and you can even see what page they're sending to, when it was last seen. So this is a great way to. That's interesting. Dallas Cowboys wedding band. Yeah, you may find some other things that are just not on. So here's the thing. If they have a Dallas Cowboys wedding band, they must have a licensing deal with the NFL then. So this is now telling me they're very advanced. Okay, so I guess the other thing to do then is if you take a look at you could go ahead and take a look at all of their listings. You could see how to reverse engineer their Shopify store in my other video, and you could find their best sellers and whatnot, but we'll just do a quick overview here. I'm guessing women want the rings more than men. Okay. Whoa. All right. Here is now, they are very advanced. So the reason why I did this, 67,000 Instagram followers means nothing. They could have bought it. They could have done follow, unfollow. I know some of my friends have, 40 to 60,000 Instagram followers on their account, and it's worthless. They're not getting any organic sales from that. But this is just now showing me very strong signals that this is a very strong brand, because they have more sales off Amazon than they have on Amazon. Okay, so I hope that you guys could see why it's important to go through these steps if you're if you're very seriously considering going deep into a product. I do suggest doing this on your competitors so that you can essentially reverse funnel hack them, go and see all the ways that they are potentially getting traffic. And then, so you could also then go through, I'll leave a link below if the video is posted at this time, but you could go through and then see what keywords on Amazon they're bidding for. So we've now shown how to do this on Google right here. We can go and see all the places they're advertising on Google. Social media, we're able to see that. We're able to see all the sites that are linking to them, exactly how much traffic they are getting to their website. We go look at their reviews. And now I would be much more afraid to compete with these people compared to when I was just looking at their Amazon store, because it looked like they were maybe a new seller, and I was like, maybe they're just they know how to rank something really well. Okay, this is I guess one other thing which I did not mention. If you go ahead and look at their storefront, okay, so this is a part of brand registry. You need to do this to get a storefront, at least I believe so. I don't know if they've changed it at this point, but yeah, so if you click right here on the brand name, now this is going to bring you to their store, okay? So they have video, they have they have done this, they've put some pretty good time into making this look very nice. So now I am just, on a first glance, by just looking at the listing and their actual seller account, they didn't look the most advanced. It could have been this one-off where they just were good at ranking for people. They had ranking methods to get up there and got some initial reviews. But now I can see there's a raving customer fan base with a crazy amount of organic traffic coming in. So this is now this is a pretty serious seller, and they specialize on this. So this is an example of just a very competitive niche. Okay, so we've just looked at a very competitive product, and we learned the ways to analyze how advanced that they are. They could add another image here, and they could add some enhanced. Oh, it's loading finally. All right, they do have enhanced brand content. All right, so they've done it all, and they're at this point, it may look like they've got, just kind of this one listing that's killer, but we see that they've got this big velocity recently. When we looked at their seller reviews, let me go back to here. Just doing an overview here. They've had this spike recently. It is wedding season, but they've got crazy sales. They got a good brand, well organized, well designed, serious seller. Okay, so we've already gone over the in-depth, how to really dig into one competitor and see how advanced they are. Now I'm going to show you what I would do on a more, as I'm looking at a market, just off my initial, am I going to even look into this further? This is, if it passes my review thresholds and profitability and other stuff, this would be how I would go about just doing it really quick, because that was like 20 minutes just to really learn about one person. So if you make sure you get the Helium 10 extension down. If you have not already, a link down there. And basically what we could do then is we could just go through, and if you click sold by, let me zoom in here. Yeah, so we just do that. Make sure you don't do the sponsored ads. Don't be looking at that. But if we do that, and then you can tell that they are private labelers if there's only one seller. I mean, it's not a guaranteed, but that's just going to help out. Okay, and then another thing you could do quickly too, you can just check out really easy with this Helium 10 extension, just how, if you hit just show, you're going to be able to see how long has this thing been in here for. Okay, so this one's been on here for a while, and just evaluate that way. Now, what would I be looking for? Let's say just a quick analysis here. If the ones that had a lot of reviews, if they have a large amount of reviews in a short period of time, then I'm going to be more worried if there's a lot of those, because those are black hatters, okay? You do not want to get in war with them. I did, and it was a nightmare this summer. I had hijackers all the time because I didn't have my brand registry in time, and then there were counterfeiters everywhere. They were leaving all sorts of dirty negative reviews on me, and if you're advanced, you know that, and you are willing to put up with that. Okay, so we have gone in then and just go look at each one of these sellers. We can see right here, this might be it looks like a hijacker. Fun for them. They don't have brand registry yet. Thunderfit. Okay, look right there. That means they've gotten 9,000. They've done like 1 million sales this year. Okay, this is a big seller. Now, are they a private labeler or are they a wholesaler? Okay, no, it's only 2,620 over the past, so that's only about 300,000 sales. But this is what they do. They have a bunion relief. So this is a private labeler, and they are deep. This is the only thing they do, okay? So we've taken a look at some of the other ones. What are these other ones? So there's Thunderfit there. We have Enzo rings, which we already looked at in the past one, but we could just take another look here and then go to their products, and they are, they've done 100,000 sales or more, roughly. They're all rings too, private label. ROQ here, this has quite a bit of rating. Now, here's another trick that you could do. So do you see how this says 2,524 reviews there? If we go back here, though, it says 6,413. This will give you just a really quick idea of how long they've been a seller for. So they've probably been selling for about 3 years then, because obviously it's about 3 times that, but sales grow exponentially as time goes on. So that's something interesting to take into account there. But yet again, it looked like these ones were, let's take a look. Another brand that is, all right, here's the thing. They are, let's look at this, guys. They are iPhone cases and silicone wedding rings, yet another, and private labelers. So just by quickly doing this, and then just check out the revenue numbers on these guys too, I guess. Let's see, 160, wow, look, they're doing, this is a big company, okay? Then let's check out this one. Okay, so we look at this one, and they don't have as many, nope, they still got a lot of reviews. It looks like they do, let's see, what is their revenue numbers like here? Okay, they've got some pretty good revenue on their stuff. They have some lower ones. Okay, that's a bit interesting. Total revenue they're doing, all right, so this is a multi-million-dollar seller. Just checking in the top left there. So it looks like they must have started out just doing little jewelry, and when they were just getting started on private label, and then they mastered, and then now they're doing the silicone wedding rings and just doing some pretty massive numbers on that. Let's see, let's check out a couple more. Maybe I'll look at one that was maybe not that has less reviews. Okay, see, is anybody having success who's a noob? Okay, because that would, maybe it's still pretty competitive and whatnot, but if you're willing to use more risky tactics. Okay, so if it has lower reviews, I wouldn't even go into the sell, or maybe I would, but just hit show here and look at these sales numbers. Okay, so just look at the sale, so they just launched in 2 days ago, and that's the only reason they're here, because they have a ranking service, and that's the only reason they're on this page. So if they have low reviews, check that out compared to everybody else in the ranking. So just to check for ranking. Now, I would still be interested in looking in this, I guess. Let's see. I just want to see. So there's somebody ranking to do this. See, this is Hokey Direct. This looks like so they just started selling, and they're selling like, what is this? Who just starts to sell all these different products? So now this really concerns me, because this is probably a seller account that already existed either, or there's some type of, this is something very fishy. This isn't your typical private labeler. They've either gotten banned, and something has happened, and they had to make a new Amazon seller account. I would stay away from this, because the only ones are very well established people or new people who are doing shady, like their accounts look shady. Okay, so this is just a great way to understand what the market is going to be like. I guess we could take a look at a couple more. So, I mean, there was proof of one person who was a small private labeler and then is now successful, but that happened a while ago, and they've got a competitive advantage now with all the reviews and getting in early on it. So this is a smaller seller. No, they're still doing 100,000 sales. Let's see. Let's look at their products. Look at their annual revenue. Okay, so they were able to launch this one and get it to stay up there, actually, because they launched in March. So now I'm not sure what they're doing for reviews, but when we look at they're only doing $54,000 a month in revenue. So this is still not a very advanced seller, but they know what they're doing. They clearly launched a lot of products. And then now this, when did they launch this? Let's see. All right, so there is some proof of somebody who knows what they're doing and got up here. All right, and this is one of the other sellers, and they are cell phone accessories and silicone wedding rings. So just know that going into this, I guess we could take a look at one more. Dordo. This sounds Chinese. Doer? Oh, maybe no. Maybe not. Okay, this right there, that shows me that they are this right there shows me that they are private labeler because, yeah. And they all have the Doer brand. Let's take a look at their, so it looks like they've had busts. And so why are they even ranking on the first page? And they're only ranking because they did a giveaway. So looking at this, I would not expect this guy to be staying because I'm looking for proof that somebody could do it who's not more advanced. I'm obviously speaking to beginners here a little bit more, not the advanced people. So, I mean, he doesn't have other successful products. So since he doesn't have other successful products, he's just using a giveaway ranking service here, and I just don't think that it's going to stick because it really wasn't the best listing looking either. So he's got add-on item there, some flashy, blinky stuff. So, yep, that's essentially how I would analyze it really quick. And of course, if you just look at the reviews and the sales numbers and do it for yourself, you could just eliminate before doing this, but I think it is important to look at your competitors because that's how you're going to predict the future. What will happen here, okay? And, if you really want to, just for fun, maybe track these ones that didn't stick or that you are like, okay, will this guy stick? Maybe save it on a Pinterest board of to watch and then check up on it a month and see what happened. And do some little tests and learn for yourself. But I hope that this is helpful and you now know the quicker way to analyze the competition level from by actually looking at these sellers and understanding who they are and how they work. I guess summing this up, actually, the more spread out a market is, the easier it is to get in. So if these sellers are selling in all sorts of different brands and they're relatively big and it doesn't look like they have a large dedicated social media following in one niche, then easier. Okay, you could take some sales from them, but if they are dedicated, the only thing they do is sell rings, they've got a lot of reviews, a lot of social media, and the only people coming up are little guys or people doing quite obvious ranks or black hatty looking like we saw, probably stay away unless you know what you're doing.